It is January wrap-up time. I know we are at the end of February, but I finally was able to get a short form video recorded, edited, and put up. So here we are. I'm going to give you some full, this is what I think. Let me pull up some of the information. And give me 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, so I read 8 books in the month of January. I'm gonna have to put them somewhere up here on the screen because for the most part I have no physical copies. I either borrowed them from the library or I own them in e-format. So, first book I read, well, maybe I'll just put them right here, was Blurred by Brilynn O'Neill. I got this as an ARC, and she is quickly becoming one of my favorite authors. I love her writing style. I did enjoy this book. Yes, I would recommend it. Like I said, it is out now, so go check it out. So this is a CIA agent who needs to go undercover and infiltrate, for lack of a better word, a company to get some evidence on the owner of the company because they think he's murdering other billionaires. And in the process of trying to gather information, she starts to learn that things and people are not who and what they seem. There's a little bit of maybe there's a leak in the agency or maybe even in the company. Like there's just all these little mystery things that come out in the end. And then there's a cliffhanger at the end, which I love a good cliffhanger. This one, the character delivering the cliffhanger, the way he delivers it, you just want to punch him in the face. Like, and then at the very end, so he delivers his line. The very next line says, "The end." I don't think I've ever read a recent story anyway that says "the end" at the end. Like, I don't know what it is that just got me. It was hilarious. Anyway, so then I read Alchemized. This book I had no intention whatsoever of reading. None. Zero. And Dave was like, "Oh, I found this book that I think I'm going to try to read." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, what book?" And he's like, "I don't know, alchemy something?" And I was like, "Oh." And I know that Stephanie Garber came out with a book called Secrets of Alchemy or something. So I was like, well, let me see, because I do want to read that book. And so he showed me the cover of it. I was like, oh, that's Alchemized. That's not the book I was thinking of. Okay. And then I'm thinking, I was like, yeah, go for it. I mean, okay. Now I give him that, okay, because of things that I had heard about it. And what I had heard, I was under the impression that this was a very spice-forward book, which is to say, and dark spice. So that's for me, like, no, I don't like the dark spice thing. It's just not me. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll read it with you. Well, I read it in 2 weeks. And I'm gonna be honest. The first third of the book, I was just kind of like, yeah, I think I'm gonna put this down. And then somewhere along the lines between 1/3 and 50%, I became invested. Like, I started to realize at about 50% in, I was like, okay, I gotta put this down. I gotta put this down. And like, I gotta do things. I didn't want to put it down. And then I stopped. I was like, literally, I promise you, this is how it happened. I'm reading, listening and reading. I'm like, I gotta do things. I gotta stop. After this chapter, I gotta stop. So I push pause after the chapter, whatever chapter I was reading. And I sat there for a second and I went, I'm invested in this book. Nobody's around to hear me. I'm talking to myself. Do you do that? And I'm like, I said, when did I become invested in this book? Like, I'm confused. Yesterday, just the day before, I was 1/3 of the way in, and now I'm 50% in, and I don't want to put the book down. What happened? I don't know when it happened. Like, So then I go and I start doing the things that I got to do, and I'm still thinking about this book. I can't figure it out. So from there on, it took me very little time to read because I just sat and read or walked and listened or did whatever. Like, I was constantly with the headphones listening. So yes, I liked it. The answer is yes, I liked it. Would I recommend it? Yes. I would also recommend going into this blind. Or if you already know about it, or if you already know, like maybe you read Manacled, or you know about Manacled, put it away. Put what you think you know away and go into it blind. I wish I had done that because I think I would have liked it from the start more than I did. So yeah. All right, so the third book that I read, so I'm going to talk about this as a series first. So I read the Natural series. This was suggested to me by Lena, my daughter, and she's been bugging me to read it for a while. So the Natural series is 4 books and a novella. This follows 5 teenagers who are recruited by the FBI to help solve cold cases. Now these kids have natural abilities, dare I say supernatural abilities? It's not supernatural, but they have obscenely natural abilities to profile people, to read their emotions, to tell whether or not they're lying. And then the one has the ability to basically crunch numbers, to see patterns and stuff like that. I think it's called a statistician. I don't know. So the 4 main books. First you have The Naturals. Yes, I enjoyed it. Yes, I would recommend it. Good book. Killer Instinct. Better than the first. Yes, enjoyed it. Yes, I would recommend it. Then you have All In. Even better than the first 2. And that's rare in a series where it gets better and better. Yes and yes. And then you have Bad Blood, which was the best out of them all because they get better and better and better. Now, even though Bad Blood to me was the best book, my favorite book was All In. So yeah. And then book 5, which was the novella, 12, didn't really like it. Kind of felt like it was a waste of time. So would I recommend reading it? No. But you got better things to do, I promise you. So 12 takes place 5 years in the future. The kids are all adults now. They're still participating in the program in one way, shape, or form. And I don't know. It just feels disjointed. It feels like an afterthought. It feels, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So those are my thoughts. Now, the last book that I read in January was The Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Moss. Again, this is a book that I actually went back and forth. I was like, yes, I want to read that book. No, I'm hearing things that I don't really like. I don't think I want to read that book. Yes, I want to read the book. Meh. So, in all honesty, I had no intention of reading the book after a while. And then book club, oh, yo, by the way, this is the book we're reading this month. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll read it. And turns out, I'm glad I did. I enjoyed this book a lot. It's mythology. I feel like it's a mix of mythologies, to be honest. You got gods, you've got titans, you've got Spartans, but those are not what you think they are. I don't know. And then you've got the children of these gods and these Spartans, or the Spartans are the gods. I don't know. I'm still a little confused about how that works, but it was good. So you've got your FMC who grows up in the human world and is treated awful. Like, she goes through so much abuse, so much bullying, that it's terrible. And throughout the story, you see the consequences of her abuse, because she doesn't speak up for herself. She lets these people bully her, these people who are supposed to protect her, who are supposed to teach her, who are supposed to get her ready for this trial, this fight. And they're just bullying her and asking, why don't you know this? Why don't you know this? Why don't you know this? Well, bro, like, I grew up in the human world. I only know what you let the humans know. Because I didn't say this. She grows up in the human world, but it turns out she's part Spartan. So there's this whole thing that she now has to become a part of, and she has no idea. So anyway, sorry guys, the end of this, my mic does something stupid, but the ending of the book, it just irritated the hell out of me. Like, the very, very end of the book pissed me off. I don't know at what point in the book it happens, but there are characters that I just wanted to punch in the face. Characters that are supposed to care about her. Her teacher, Augustus, he's a dick. I don't like him at all. But, like, I don't know. The things that they let happen to her, the miscommunication in this book was obnoxious. And for that reason, I didn't absolutely love this book. But it was still good. I just wish the miscommunication wasn't as obnoxious as it was. I get the need for it, but I just wish that this strong female character had the strength to speak up for herself, and she didn't. So, yeah. Anyway, it was a good book, though. It was a good story, and I am telling you that book club chose to read book 2, Bonds of Hercules, and I read it. I read it almost immediately. I don't think it was the first book I read in February, but it was the second, I think. And I read it fast. I gobbled it up. Got a lot of thoughts about it, which I'll tell you when I talk about it in March. Anyway, so yeah, those are the books that I read. Yeah. So if you've read any of these books, I would love for you to put in the comments below whether or not you agree with me on them. Like, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, so that's it. Until next time, guys, stay safe, enjoy a good book, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.